Shalom, Kahala, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Barakatam to the hopefully elect. And just real quick, just a quick hit, because I mentioned in yesterday's street teaching that, because I touched on in Revelation 12, the 12th chapter, going into the 12 stars and the sun and the moon, all right, which basically was symbolic for a representation of the nation of Israel and wisdom and knowledge and understanding, so on and so forth. Because I was looking for this account that's just pretty much more proof, all right, further proof backing up Revelations 12 and 12, all right, which I'll bring it out again, but because I was looking for this and I couldn't find it for the second time. I just said that I would get back to it, and getting back to it now, so real quick, in Genesis 37, starting at verse 9, it says, now this is going into Joseph in the dream that he had, all right. It says, Genesis 37 and 9, it says, and he dreamed yet another dream and told it his brethren and said, behold, I have dreamed a dream more. All right, because when you jump up, verse 5, it says, and Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told it his brethren, and they hated him the more. All right, because pretty much Joseph was, when you read, it pretty much talks about how Jacob or Israel, which was the father, the progenitor of the 12 tribes. All right, he had 12 sons, which consists of the 12 tribes, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. All right, he pretty much favored Joseph out of all the others. All right, and this is why pretty much, the brothers, they had envy towards him. All right, and pretty much adding fuel to the fire, Joseph had these dreams, which, made his brothers envy him even more. Because reading verse 5, it says, and Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told it his brethren, and they hated him yet the more. It says, and he said unto them, hear, I pray you, this dream which I have dreamed. For behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and lo, my sheaf arose and also stood upright, and behold, your sheaves stood round about and made obeisance to my sheaf. All right. And his brother said to him, shalt thou indeed reign over us? Or shalt thou indeed have dominion over us? And they had hated him yet the more for his dreams and for his words. All right, because when you read on in the story concerning Joseph and his brothers, pretty much long story short, his brothers set him up. Pretty much his brothers set him up. Because I'm trying to remember. I don't know if they set him up to make it look like he got killed, or they just set him up to be taken into captivity. I gotta brush up on this story, man. But basically, man, his brothers set him up. All right, when you read the account, this story, the brothers set Joseph up. Joseph ended up getting taken into captivity. All right, and pretty much ended up becoming a powerful man. All right, you read about the drought and everything that took place. All right, and being that the spirit was dealing with Joseph. All right, pretty much, he was pretty much, man, he gained popularity. He earned a very high position. I believe he became second in command under the Pharaoh, if I'm not mistaken. But basically, man, he was promoted to a very high position. All right, and during that time, all right, again, there was a famine in the land, and everyone had to come to Egypt for food and so on and so forth. All right, and long and behold, all right, Joseph's kinfolk, all right, his brothers, his mother, and his father, all right, they ended up coming to Egypt as well. All right, presuming that Joseph was dead. They thought that Joseph was dead. All right, but long and behold, all right, because Joseph, when they were when they made contact, all right, the brothers, they didn't know it was Joseph, that they were dealing with. But Joseph well knew that he knew who they were. All right, but he was if I'm not mistaken, he was disguised, not disguised, but like dressed up, pretty much fitted in and blended in with the Egyptians, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I could be wrong. I got to brush up on the story. All right, but his brothers couldn't recognize him. All right, you know, and again, because they pretty much like the dream here. All right, um, they were pretty much, you know, came to not going to say servitude to Joseph, but basically, man, they had to come to Joseph. They came to Joseph, and Joseph being, being the head, being the second in command. All right, so this is pretty much what the dream was going into. All right, but the point I want to get, um, in verse 9, all right, it says, and he dreamed yet another dream, and told it his brethren, and said, Behold, I have dreamed a dream more. And behold, the sun and the moon, all right, pretty much talking about his mother and his father, all right, his father and his mother, all right, and it says, and the 11 stars made obeisance to me, all right, and the 11 stars going into the other brothers, with him, being the 12th star, all right, and again, because I mentioned this yesterday in the street teaching, man. A lot of times, man, read over stuff and not knowing the significance, all right, of what things are talking about, because a lot of times, read over things and then, certain things just might go completely over our heads, all right. But when you come into this truth and the Spirit's dealing with you, it sups with you, all right. You're shown these things are pretty much revealed unto you. All right, and this is just pretty much further proof that Revelations 12 and 12, which I brought up yesterday in the street teaching, all right, Revelations 12 and 1, not 12 and 12, Revelations 12 and 1, it says, and there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet. All right, now real quick, because I quoted it yesterday, but I'll just go ahead and bring it out here, because oftentimes when, it refers to the nation of Israel as, daughter of Zion, or pretty much Jeremiah 6 and 2, it says, I liken the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. All right, because the point being that oftentimes the nation of Israel as a whole is compared to a woman, a beautiful woman at that. This is why, because like the scriptures compare our relationship to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, all right, us being a bride, being adorned for her husband, which in this case, Yahushai is our husband, all right. Again, symbolically speaking, not literally, for the simple people that want to, get stupid, all right. It's symbolic, and this is why the scriptures often talk about how the nation of Israel, we went a whoring, all right, because we committed spiritual fornication against our husband, Yahweh Shai, all right, or Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, all right. We committed spiritual fornication because we're compared to a virgin that's engaged to a man to be married, So oftentimes, when it refers to the nation of Israel, it compares the nation of Israel to a woman. All right, so going back to this in Revelations 12 and 1, that's why it says, and there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman, talking about the nation of Israel, clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, going pretty much symbolic for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right, it says, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars, again, going into the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. All right, Genesis 37, going into Joseph and the dream that he had with the 11 stars, himself, making 12. All right, it's just further proof, just showing that, just backing up here in Revelations 12. All right, this woman in the 12 stars, the sun and the moon. All right, it's all symbolic for the nation of Israel. All right, clothed with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right, so that was just a quick hit, man. Something I said I would bring out and try to back that up, So hopefully this was edifying. Giving all credit to Yahweh Shem Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And until next time, Lord's will, I say shalom.